Thank you, everybody. Give it up for Dylan, Russell, Alex. Yeah. I love to learn. I love how the questions just evolve so differently. Like, what can humans do that animals can't? Then it was, can animals make porn? And then, who wants to punch me? Love that. You guys, I'm the oldest of four. I'm 23, and this year I made it a goal to spend more time with my younger siblings so I can learn more about them. Like, I just found out my 16-year-old brother ditched school just so he could play with a Ouija board. And in all honesty, I would much rather have him do drugs. I'd rather have him smoke weed than to let anything into my house. Just because it would be an easier conversation for me as an older brother. Like if I see him with drugs, I'm like, sit down, we need to have a talk. If I see him with a Ouija board, I'm like, hey, get up, we need to get out of this house. Burn the board, wash your hands, and grab a crucifix. We're not safe anymore. But I understand that he has a lot of curiosity, so I asked, why'd you play with that? And he said, my best friend has a really big crush on a girl, and I just wanted to find out whether or not that girl likes him back. I thought that was pretty cute, you know, like how cute is it that these teens are so insecure that they would much rather talk to literally any demon than to the actual girl that they like. And the more that I thought about it, the more I realized how great an idea that is. Like, why would you ever waste your time with small talk when you can just manipulate the dark arts? When I was younger and I wanted to find out whether or not a girl liked me, I would grab a magic 8-ball. I'd ask it, does my crush like me? And then shake it until I got the answer that I wanted. Now, because of all this, I just can't help but think that somewhere in our universe, there is a group of demons that have a soft spot for teenage love. You know, they're just huddled together over a board giving hopeless teenagers advice like love weights, be yourself, and hail Satan. I really don't mind that my brother's messing with the paranormal. If he were to get possessed, I feel like it'd be the quickest way for him to learn Latin. We wouldn't need a tutor anymore, you know. But I'm easing off of him. I'm instead focusing on my other brother. I have an 11-year-old brother, and I just found out he has an Instagram account. So I've been spying on him every single day. And I'm starting to see parts of his personality I've never seen before. Like, thanks to Instagram, I found out that my 11-year-old brother loves to post pictures of money. That's really weird to me because I don't know if you know this, but 11-year-olds don't have a lot of money. And if they do, it's because they just turned 11. The post that I came across has my brother spreading 6 $1 bills across his bed, like a fan, right beside a clump of $4 in quarters, highlighted by a giant certificate for a free personal pizza that was awarded for perfect attendance, all neatly captioned, Fortnite time, let's get this money. And as an outsider looking in, I feel like that's a very ambitious way of letting the world know that you have $10 and a very great metabolism. But honestly, you guys, I'm just so surprised because he's in 6th grade, yet he is posting at an 8th grade level. Very proud of him. I do feel like I have to teach him about online etiquette because lately he's been making memes out of our 97-year-old grandfather. Yeah, and it is truly horrific. Started off pretty tame, like whenever my grandpa would sneeze, my brother would make it look like he's dabbing. And then it quickly intensified. Most recently, my brother took a picture of my grandpa when he was falling asleep on the couch. My grandpa, when he's sleeping, has this tendency to leave his mouth open just a little bit. And after he took this photo, he uploaded it and captioned it, "When you nut." And as an older brother, I was caught in this weird predicament where I have to be like, hey, that's your grandpa, you need to respect him. But also, can you send me that photo? I love to show all of my friends. You guys, I'm a Los Angeles native. Yeah, thank you so much. That means I was born cool. And I've lived in LA for 23 years, and I love it, but my neighborhood's being gentrified, and I'm afraid of losing the best parts of my community. Like, where I live, we have this native species that's disappearing. We're called Latinos. And we're getting pushed out harder than a mosh pit. I never would have thought the greatest threat to my people would be a vegan food truck. The Impossible Burger is now the official symbol of oppression amongst my neighbors. And look, I've read a lot of arguments for gentrification, one of them being that it provides investment, thus making communities better. But personally, I don't believe that, because where I live, we currently have 2 murals of Rick and Morty and only 1 of the Virgin Mary. We are in danger. And, and look, as growing up, I always wanted better community resources, but right now we just have countless brunch options. Like my entire life, we've never had a library. Ironically, if I wanted to borrow a book, I'd have to visit the tiny library that my neighbor built in front of their house. I'm just telling you guys, I am not going to read Bukowski. Love to see some Sandra Cisneros in there, but given the climate, the house on Mango Street has been bought, sold, and converted into an Airbnb. We have a lot of new neighbors moving in. We got a lot of white people moving in. I'm going to preface, I love white people. You guys are great. You invented Magic the Gathering. Forever grateful. I just feel like you guys are having a tremendous effect on the behavior of my community. Like at my old high school, these 2 Latino kids brought loaded guns to school. Luckily, they were caught and nothing happened, but I can't believe that they assimilated that quickly to white culture. I never would have thought that these things would directly affect myself or my neighbors or my family, but it is, and it's crazy. Like I just found out that my 16-year-old brother is getting picked on at school for being Latino, or apparently because kids feel he's not Latino enough. From what I was told, a few of my brother's classmates decided to rummage through his backpack and they found a can of lemon-flavored LaCroix and started calling him an undercover white boy, which is definitely not as subtle as a hint of citrus in his drink, and totally uncalled for because he was off duty that night. When he shared this with me, I could tell he was very upset, and like, I get it. Someone questioned his identity. That doesn't feel good. So I did my best to console him. I was like, hey, what you went through is awful. Nobody should ever have to go through that. But you now have an amazing introductory paragraph for your college essay. Adversity does come with benefits. Reap them as often as you can. How do you think I got on this show tonight? I did have to remind him that sticks and stones may break your bones, but hurtful words make for winning diversity scholarships. I would know, having won 2 of them. But I understood what he felt, because I've been told I'm not Latino enough, and I don't know what that means. I just feel like it's a lot of people projecting their own inadequacies onto me because they feel insecure, but still I rise, right? I just feel like it's because we don't meet someone else's marker of what it means to be Latino, and most of the time it's that we don't speak enough Spanish in public. But that's not true. I speak Spanish all the time. Only problem is the only people I speak Spanish to are my grandparents and whichever woman is lost at Target. That is my Target demo. All right, here we go. And I'm excited to see my brother turn into the person that he's meant to be, but I don't want him to feel like he has to meet someone else's expectations of what he should be. And I feel like that comes from like us not having enough representation in media, like not enough Latinos in movies, TV, etc. And I hope that changes. Like Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream that one day a man would be judged not by the color of his skin, but by the content of his character. I have a similar dream that one day Latinos in film won't be introduced by the song Lowrider. It'll be super cool for that day. You guys, as I get older, I'm realizing that my family is really great at making mistakes. And by making mistakes, I mean going to jail. I feel like collectively my family has been to jail more times than I've been to Disneyland. And that is coming from an annual pass holder. I always believe that people that go to jail aren't bad people, they're just people that have made bad choices. And I think that's especially true of my cousin Andrew, who went to jail for trying to race a police officer at a stoplight. Did you know they don't like it when you do that? They also don't like it when they verbally warn you and you respond by revving your engine. Andrew won the race, but he lost his license. Yet that is the price of glory. My dad has been to jail for throwing a shopping cart at an AutoZone cashier. But to be fair, who hasn't been there, you know? Why write a scathing Yelp review when you can just show somebody what a one-star experience feels like? My dad went 0 to 60 faster than any car ever could. And all it took was a 20-year-old with attitude. Most recently, my Uncle Carlos went to jail for shooting someone's car because he got really mad. Also realizing my family is not very good at dialogue. Shot someone's car, police arrived within 5 minutes because the car that he shot was white. Of according to the police report, that 94 Bronco had a very promising future. I went to visit him, and it was really nice to see him again. He's doing well, thriving in jail. Who knew? He looks good. He's been exercising a lot, and he took this opportunity to show me two of the most important things in his life. One was the Bible, and I was like, hey, watch out. Much bigger prison. And the second thing he chose to show me was a picture of his girlfriend. And I was surprised because before he went to jail, he did not have a girlfriend. When he showed me the photo, it was actually a cartoon drawing of a woman. And I was like, oh no, my uncle is in here jacking off to hentai. Yet it is the one thing that unites the two of us. I do wish to find out how that piece got commissioned in the first place. You know, just like my uncle tossing and turning on the top bunk of the bunk bed, and his cellmate is on the bottom. He's like, Carlos, what's happening? And he's like, you know, I had that dream again. And his cellmate's like, the one about the girl? And he's like, yeah. He's like, can you describe her for me? He's like, give me a minute. And then that's how it all came to fruition. My uncle's bail is $1,070,000. That's crazy. I feel like the $70,000 is gratuitous. It would take a Muppet telethon to get my uncle out of jail. You guys, I come from a very superstitious family. They believe in ghosts and demons. I don't. I do, however, think that ghosts are pretty cool. I was once told that a ghost will only appear if you're brave enough to see them. And that is definitely the nicest way that anybody has ever called me a coward. I feel like the reason why I like ghosts so much is because of ghost stories. Sometimes I'll hear one that's compelling enough to make me think there might be a life after this. I remember one night I was trading ghost stories with my brother, and we ran out, and he was like, you know, if I ever saw a ghost, I'd want to see Dad's ghost. That was really strange to me because our dad is still alive. I don't know if he has plans for our father, but I was very concerned. But I understood what he meant. Like, if he ever saw a ghost, he'd want to see a cool ghost. Our dad has been to jail before, a pretty cool ghost. I get the logic behind that. I just feel like we'll never experience ghosts because I feel like ghosts are exclusively rich people problems. You know, because every ghost story I've ever heard has been that a family moves into their dream home, and unbeknownst to them, spirits show up. I've never heard a ghost story where a family moves into transitional housing, and then the spirits show up. And if that were ever the case, I'm pretty sure the ghost would help them for the rest of their life. He'd be like, do you need anything? I know you have 3 kids, 2 jobs, go work them. I'll take care of the children. I know the house next door has better stuff. I'll haunt it, you loot it, we'll work together. I'm pretty sure Section 8 is a lot scarier than Section 666, you guys. Last one before I go. I used to work at a church, and that was really cool. I felt like it was the only job where I could accept a boss with a holier-than-thou attitude. And it was nice to learn about what other people believe in. Like, some people believe that they'll be reunited with their families once they pass away, or that they'll finally be at peace. It really inspired me. I hope that when I die, I get 72 virgins. Not for sex. I just think it'd be really cool to see all of my friends again. You know, I die, head straight up into the clouds, and I have my boys Luis and Ari just holding open the gates for me as I stroll into paradise. Because I don't know about you guys, but boys' night every night sounds like heaven to me. Thank you guys so much. I'm Vince Caldera.